Hello and welcome to my channel, Thrifty Day. On today's episode, I am going to be taking you on a walkthrough of my completed journal. I have been meaning to make this YouTube for a long time. I just haven't even had a moment because, as you can see, it is going to take quite a bit of time. So sit back, enjoy, and I am going to share a very chatty flip through of my completed personal journal. I did make this journal by hand, completely from scratch. There is a handmade personal journal charm on the spine. I just use a paper clip. If you would like a tutorial of this, I have a slow step-by-step one on Patreon. If you are looking for a faster, more to the point tutorial, please check out my TikTok. But this is a journal charm that I made, and my favorite charm is definitely this little vintage style owl. So I'm going to set that to the side, and I chose this cover because I came across this fabric at an, I think a yard sale, and it was from a woman who had just, more fabric than any fabric store I've ever been in. And it was just bolts of it. So I bought a lot of it, and I thought it would just be a neat way to sort of honor her memory, even though I didn't know her. So I chose colors that sort of coordinated, and these are flowers from the same print. And there are 4 signatures, and it is extremely thick. And I think, I don't have my ruler handy. Let me see. Here it is. The spine is 3 inches, and it is a very, very heavy journal. I have lots of little goodies hanging off the end, including this little pressed penny that is Snoopy, a Christmas Snoopy. There's also this little clown bottle cap that is literally my favorite. A little key, and this is the way I like my journals packed. So let's get into the actual flip through now. So I was in this journal, I want to say for about 6 months. This is the cover. It's from a vintage storybook. I loved the colors. I loved the whole look. I loved the flowers. And this was sent to me in some happy mail. So I decided to just sort of keep it as is, and I embellished it with a little bit of apples. And that is the day that I started this journal. It was June 1st of 2022. And I believe I finished it in around October. And this is the first page. It was a trip to Disneyland with some of my dear, dear friends. We had the best time, and I added this big sticker. So just lots of vintage Disney. And this was just a sticker package. So I decided to upcycle it, and I put some photos in there of me and my friends. We've been friends since we were teenagers. And so that was a really fun day to be able to go back to Disneyland. And this was a vintage book page. Ryan and I used to always go to Disneyland when we were kids, and after school we'd go to Disneyland. We've had annual passes since we were children, so it was a really fun day. These are just some odds and ends I stuck in here. One of my favorite little flowers from Eliza Ryan Design. This is actually a learn to paint book or something from like the 70s. I love it. This is just a picture of Abby, and I think I just stuck it in here. That's one of my daughter's teaching stickers from when she was working as an intern, because she's getting her all her teaching stuff and her master's. And this is a vintage postcard that was sent to me, but look at how cute those stamps are. So go ahead and stick that in there. It's just a pocket. This is more stuff. I just tend to stick a lot of things in here. This was from a movie premiere we went to a long time ago. I don't know if you remember A Call of the Wild with Harrison Ford, but they even asked us to bring our dogs. I used to work as a blogger, so that was the dog that the movie Call of the Wild was based on, and my dog feeding him, Buck. So lots of good stuff. This is my favorite pet food store. It's called Rosie Bunny Bean, and it is in Highland Park. So if you are in Southern California, I highly recommend Rosie Bunny Bean. I love it. So just lots of other odds and ends. This was my Halloween layout. A lot of it was Happy Mail that was sent to me. This tag Amy made, and it's literally incredible. So I used it as my journaling, and I made this little corner. I believe I have a video about how my process video for this page. Sorry, getting tongue-tied. It is early in the morning. These are some stamps sent to me by my good friend, and I use this pocket to add this little journal. I bought this Elvira patch because I love Elvira at Knott's Berry Farm when we were seeing the Bob Baker marionette puppets. There's Diego and Hannah when he was being a puppeteer at Knott's Berry Farm. You can't see us, but that's me, Lizzie, and Diego. And this is just lots of different Happy Mail and stamps. and goodies and some tea and a sticker from Eliza Ryan Design. And this was actually a card from my best friend Ashley that he sent me for Halloween, which was super sweet. So I just use it to tuck right in there, and I could still see the card. And these were more stamps that were sent to me. So this was a really fun layout. I just kept this page as is because I love the dogs. A lot of times I will do that. If I love the page, I just leave it and skip over it. This was a Happy Mail page. Lots of really beautiful little goodies were sent to me. I love this little card. How cute is that? It's a canasta card. So cute. And Amanda actually made this beautiful envelope. So I just stuck lots of little goodies in here. And this was all just sent to me by Amy and Amanda, I believe. And I want to say Heather. And just lots of really fun little stuff. So that was really sweet to keep and have memories of. This is the mail that they sent to me, and I didn't want to cut it up or anything. And this was on one of the envelopes. They used stars to write my name. So I meant to journal here and didn't, but it's okay. I think it's all sort of kind of cohesive. It just looks very pretty. This was Never Can Say Goodbye. It was from a vintage piece of sheet music, and it was when Vince Scully died. That's me, my husband, and Vince Scully. We actually were able to meet him and chat with him some years ago, and it was amazing. So this was remembering Vince Scully. I don't even know where I got this, but I absolutely love it. I'm a huge Dodger fan, and I absolutely love Vince Scully. And so it was sad. It was almost like a grandfather dying. And I made this really sweet little sort of pocket up at the top. And this is me and my family at a Dodger game. We had so much fun. I cannot wait to go back. I love baseball season. This is a little layout having to do with D23. I went to D23 with my dear friend Diego. We had so much fun. I think this comes out. Oh well. I'll just keep it in there for now. It's a picture of me and Diego, and this is just lots of D23 things. They give out so much little stuff, and so it's really fun to, that was just some journaling, to keep and kind of collect. And this was from my lanyard. They give everyone a lanyard when they walk in, so they know that you're allowed to be there, I guess. And so this was all just stuff from D23, and it was a lot of fun. And that is obviously a picture, a very vintage picture of Main Street, USA. So that was really fun. Oh, I love that page. This is another layout featuring my dear friend Diego. He's such a good friend of the family, and he is a puppeteer at Bob Baker Marionette Theaters, which you know I am like a huge, ridiculous fan of Bob Baker Marionettes. This is when the Bob Baker Marionette Theater was performing in the summer at Knott's Berry Farm. So I did some journaling about that, and I put lots of really sweet little fun pictures of our day. And this was a whole map of Ghost Town. The really cool thing about Knott's Berry Farm is they have the coolest ephemera, and it's all free. They give out a whole bunch of really neat stuff. Like even this was from the dress shop, and you can kind of color it and create your own outfit. But I just kept it and cut it out and put it right on the side. So anyway, that was a really fun day. Oh, and here, this is really fun too. This was given out at the dress shop as well. So this was Happy Founders Day, and just really neat stuff. And I did not want to cut that up because I thought it was really, really special. So instead I just folded it and I made a little pocket, and I just stick it right in there. This was some Happy Mail, the other side of that really pretty one. So this is the first signature. So I just left it as is. And I loved this image so much. It's from a beautiful book. Oh gosh, I can't even remember the name, but if it comes to me, I'll let you know. It's just different patterns and stuff. So I kept that, and there's my little clown bottle cap. This was a collab with Your Creative Studio, I believe. I could be wrong. But I had kind of had a Winnie the Pooh theme, which I really loved. And then there's just a whole bunch of pockets, and I put little tabs on them. So there's photos. Oh, and this one. This was our day, one of our days at Disneyland, and Abby bought a Lotso stuffed animal, and she's just obsessed with it. But this was Abby as a little tiny holding a tiger tail, and this is her now. Well, in the summer, not really now, I guess. And this was just such a wonderful little day at Disneyland. She is a photographer. She's absolutely genius and incredible. She does it now for school. How cute is that picture? Totally candid. Minnie just ran up to her. She does it now for school, and she's very humble. But I will tell you that she actually has a resume that most photographers would kill for. She's worked for Disney. She's worked for Universal Pictures. She's worked for Sony. She's worked for the remaster of The Wizard of Oz. Abby is so legit, and I know she doesn't toot her own horn, so I will hear on my YouTube channel. She's amazing. And this is my other amazing child. All three of my children are amazing, but this is Lizzie's, I think, her teacher picture from last year, perhaps. But I just love it. She's like, Mom, what do I do with this? I'm like, you give it to me because I'm so proud that you're a teacher. So I just love that paper doll cutout. I put it on there. These were from some New Kids on the Block cards. And this is an Edith Holden book page that I obviously wasn't going to cover up because that's incredible. So I left it that way. This is when we got our tattoos. It was so fun. It says No Day But Today, which I don't know if you could tell, but that is my tattoo. And this is inspiration for what I want for my next tattoo. I think it'd be so cute to have dancing flowers on my wrists. So it was sort of a remember what we have and looking forward to the future. And this is a vintage picture I got from a vintage, not a vintage magazine, but a Disney magazine of when the climbers used to climb up the Matterhorn at Disneyland. And, oh, this is just, I bought my husband a new chair for his birthday, and I kept the receipt and just tucked it in there because he loved it. This is just another pocket where I stuck things in that I don't want to get rid of, but how cute. I just love keeping people's handwriting. I don't know. I think that's so sweet. This is some vintage stationery and how to make vintage flower rosettes. So I thought, well, I don't want to cover that up. I might actually want to do that. So I left it there. Whole bunch of odds and ends. Somebody sent me this beautiful bracelet and some happy mail. That's just a vintage key. So I didn't want to lose it. So I just taped it right into my journal because it's beautiful. And that is a candy store we visited. This was just a day celebrating my dad. It was his birthday. We all went to breakfast and we chatted for so long. He told us all about music that he loved. And we started talking about Elvis forever because Abby had just seen the Elvis movie and my dad had so many great stories. So I just saved a bunch of things. It was just a wonderful day. It's just one of those times where you're like, man, that was just a really good day. And it's not one that we're going to forget. It was really good. And so that's a picture of all of us outside the restaurant for my dad, celebrating him. Abby just loves hearing about it. And then this, we didn't go, but these like flyers were outside. They were giving them out. And it's funny because we had talked about Elvis the whole time. So I thought, oh my gosh, I guess I should pick one of those up and stick it in my journal. This is another Dodger page. Yes, we are big Dodger fans. This was a grand slam and I happened to get a picture of them when it happened. It was so fun. So that's just us and some journaling and up and in. If you are a Dodger fan, you know that, not a Dodger fan, I guess, a baseball fan in general, you know that is sometimes how pitches are thrown. That's me and Steve. And that's all of us my kids at the game. And oh my goodness, it was just the best time ever. And these are some vintage tickets. I wish these were our real tickets because that's so cool, but they are not. Actually, I got them at an estate sale for like 50 cents. They probably thought, who wants old Dodger tickets? Me. And I used them in my layout. This is a dog page. This was all about Kamiko. She was one of our more recent fosters, or not recent, I guess, one of our fosters in the year. And she was the sweetest. She's been successfully adopted. She's living her best life. And I just used this card. And there's my journaling on there and a little vintage card. This was some happy mail from Coral. And just lots of little doggy stuff. And I love it. Sorry, I have to keep fiddling with the light. And so I apologize if it's over bright or not bright enough. This was just about our trip to Highland Park. We love Big Bud Press. We love shopping small. And we also love shopping local. And so they're an amazing store, and there's lots of little really neat like stationery stores and things like that in Highland Park. And it's Diego and Abby being silly. And we just had so much fun. And I thought these colors of this vintage children's sheet music really complemented the colors of Big Bud Press. And this is just a clear pocket I made. I want to say I have a YouTube on this layout as well. Many of them I do. So I would just go through my library if you were interested. This is all about Abby. I did not make this collage. She did. She went to like a little art club and they created like these layouts. And so I put hers on there and then I just added some stickers. So this sticker I added, this sticker I added, and these stickers I added. And obviously I added Abby. And these are just some tags I made with her and her friends because it was, I believe, homecoming. Is this homecoming or prom? I don't remember. But it's one of those formal events. And then I also put some receipts from different, her dress and things like that in there. So I'd always have them, just some memories. And I thought she looked so incredibly beautiful, and she felt beautiful. And she actually left her tags from the alterations we had made on my desk the next morning. And I just thought that was so sweet. Like, I could almost cry that gesture is so sweet. So of course I stapled them up to the top. This is just odds and ends. I love Scrub Daddy brand. And so I just love the packaging, even the branding is so great. And this was, it says Baseball Joe in the World Series. I made my dad a journal, a writing journal for his birthday out of this very vintage book. And as you can see, the book was literally falling apart, but I was able to sort of salvage the spine, and I just stapled it into my journal so I could always remember that gift. And I don't even know what this is. Where did we go? I don't know. It's an event pass for something. And this is a napkin that I decoupaged onto this page, my kiddos, and then some beautiful paper dolls. I love paper dolls. This was our Disney trip. We had so much fun. There's lots of Disney trip pages in here. So, but I believe that this was probably for Mother's Day. Yeah, we went on Mother's Day, and it was super fun. That's my kiddos being crazy. A tag to the t-shirt I made, I wore, I did not make. And then I made this pocket out of a scrap of a book page that I had, and these are all our tickets. So I just stuck it all right in there. And that was a really fun memory. It's continued over to this side. They bought me a really cool backpack, so I kept it. It is glued down. Oh, I'm losing the paper clip, but I did it in a way that you could still see the inside. That's the backpack they got me. And so I just paper clipped it so it stays together. And then there's a picture. They gave us the mother's flowers when we walked into Disneyland. So I saved that. And then we realized we should have parked in a different place. So we exited the parking structure. And they gave us this exit thing to put on our windshield so we could leave. And Abby and Hannah and Lizzie both all said, like, save it for ephemera. So kind of as a joke, that exit picture is there. And these are cards I was sent or given. And that is a picture of me and my mom in front of Small World. I put it on almost everything because it's my favorite picture. And since my mom has passed away, those memories are very special. I love this. That's from that same book. That's a vintage book page. Obviously, I wasn't going to cover it. So I just started putting my Disneyland tickets around it, and this sort of turned into like Disney Ticket Central. So if I didn't want to cover the image, I didn't, but it's just Disney tickets. As you can see, we go a lot. So that's fun. And this was a letter. My daughter Abby is a mentor at school, and her students wrote her letters thanking her. And she said, Mom, I don't really know what to do with them. And I said, well, I'll save them here. And then if you ever want them back, you can have them. So that is, this whole next bit is a lot of Abby stuff. She's so thoughtful, and her and Lizzie both leave a lot of things around for me to journal with. And so I kind of just realized I started sticking things into, right in here. And a lot of it has to do with Abby. So this was a map from a camp she went to and just different things. So that was really cool. This is more Happy Mail that was sent to me. It was a placemat and so cute. So I thought it was actually the perfect page because it was nice and big. Another clear pocket. I guess for this journal, I was really into clear pockets. But it was sort of a flashback page because these were when my kids were really young. And I was just remembering the happy times. And so that was really fun. Clear pages are really neat because you can see all the goodies you put in there. And I really quite like that. Oh my gosh. Talk about blast from the past. Look, that is me at one of the character breakfasts at Disneyland. And the kids are so young now. Oh my gosh. Woo! Time flies, folks. This is more dog stuff. You know I'm a dog person. I foster, I work in rescue, and I love it. There's, oh, there's a little picture of Winnie in there. So cute. Oh gosh, there's more pictures. Let's see. I know this envelope was sent to me in some Happy Mail. Oh, look, it's my Ellie. And this was another one of our fosters, Belvedere, who's also living his best life, successfully adopted. Those are all my doggies. This says, like, Little Miss likes dogs more than people. And isn't that accurate? This is what I feed my dogs. I kept it one time. I don't know why. I think I don't know. But anyway, I love Honest Kitchen. If you're looking for a great food to feed your dog that will help them and be the best dog they can be, truly check out Honest Kitchen. This was sort of another Halloween layout. It was Halloween candy, and you all know I love branding. I love advertising. So I just picked some of them out, and I just glued them on here. Super simple page, and look at how bright and happy that is. This was a page I made to just kind of show, I shared it on Patreon, some of the really neat ephemera that I purchased actually on Amazon. So it was just a simple page. It was one of the very first, not one of, the very first pictures that Abby and Diego, our dear friend, ever took together when we first met. And so I stuck that in there. It was Dapper Day, and so I figured this had a dapper vibe. There's the other side of that placemat. And this is a really fun layout. I used this little vintage viewfinder, and it's so cute. It's Mork and Mindy. It was sent to me, I believe, from Amy, and I love it. I love it, love it, love it. And somebody else also sent me this cute little clown. I think it might have been Amy too. It's crazy Diego. And that's at Bob Baker Marionette Theater. That's a little clown, and I made this sweet little pocket. And let me show you. I love this vintage book page. So this was just fun. And this was Crush and Touch. It's art supplies, also in Highland Park. And so I just did my journaling on it. And this is all about my Coda Bear. She was one of our fosters, but we failed. We couldn't let her go. We kept her. I mean, look at that face. She looks like a pound puppy. So I kept that little one. She's our baby. She's here. This is, Abby left this. Don't worry, I created the dog. I think she was just helping me out, and so I saved that. She left it on the kitchen for me to tell me, but I just thought that was sweet. And this VHS was falling apart. There's like a huge rip in it, but Oliver and Company is very special to me. Our very first dog that inspired all of our fostering and adopting was named Dodger. And so Oliver and Company is very special. And this is just from some dog toys and a collar, probably for Coda. Oh, and you can't see, but this was actually sent to me in some mail too. That's Dodger. So that was so sweet. I had to add that on there. And this is just a lot more goodies from D23. This was actually the tag. I added the mouse ears, but from my jumpsuit that I wore. Diego and I both wore jumpsuits from Big Bud Press. And so this is the little tag that comes on the jumpsuit. It's just an open and close, but I actually made a little journal out of it. I added little pages and little odds and ends from D23. And I did a little bit of journaling in there. And that was a sticker they gave out at D23. So it was cute. I thought that was so clever. And I just clipped it in here. And I added those vintage mouse ears because I wore mouse ears. And I bought these little keychains for the girls. And so I kept that. They gave us free Portos at Park Panel. So I saved that. That's a picture of me and Diego at our favorite booth. And you can see our jumpsuits and my mouse ears a little bit there. And look at that Kermit frog, Kermit phone. Oh my gosh. I would commit any sort of crime to get this Kermit phone. I'm going to go on eBay and buy it. And this is also something I purchased for Lizzie. And that was a pin they gave out. So I just put these Mouseketeer paper dolls on there. And it says D23. So that's just a whole bunch of little odds and ends. That was like an overflow page. But I really loved this little journal. I just was like, oh, I'm so clever. That's a vintage book page. And now we are coming to the end. This is my last signature, and I'll tell you what I did in this signature. In this particular journal and in this particular time frame, I was really on a journey to find joy. And so the way I went about that, because you just don't find it, you have to actually look for it and work for it. Every day I asked myself, how can I feel connected? How can I feel healthy? How can I feel purposeful? So every day I would answer those 3 questions. Some days I would write them down. And most days I would try to just take a picture, whatever it was. It could be my cat. It could be some fabric that made me happy. It could be my family. But it was really in an effort to find joy. So I'm not going to read them all to you because it's more personal, but these are photos. And then what I would do is I would answer those 3 questions and I would just put a photo from the day on top of my answers. Sometimes I was just proud of my journal. Sometimes, many times it was my dogs. Sometimes it was just a really good seltzer. And, so that's what this particular signature of my journal was used for, just my attempt to seek joy. And I'm really proud of that. And I learned a lot about myself, and I was very happy with the outcome. There's also some more personal journaling, and a lot of that personal journaling, I went ahead and wrote and wrote and wrote. It's very thick, and I just tucked it away in this envelope. But it's just important to get my feelings out. I actually taped that really neat little coin from Disneyland in there. And I sealed it because it's not for anyone but me. And it was just important for me to get my emotions out. So anytime I did that, I would do that. This has like a little dried flower on it. But again, my feelings just written down and sealed up. And that's what all of these are. And I even put this little vintage token on this one. So all of these are just more personal journaling. And that's what this whole signature was sort of used for. So that is the end. That is the back cover of my journal. I am so proud of this journal because it was so much more than just memory keeping. It actually was a journey to a lot of healing and understanding of myself. So if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. If you are looking for a place where we can exchange memories, and I have lots of tutorials and really fun stuff, please subscribe to my Patreon. All of that information is linked below. You can also find me on TikTok and Instagram and Facebook, and obviously you can shop in my Etsy shop, and all of that information is linked below. I hope you loved this flip through. I had a great time going through these memories, and just thank you so much for being here. Your presence is just something I'm very blessed by. So I hope you have a really good day. Thanks so much for stopping by. Bye.